So, I'm here to talk about the Giants because they've been slacking, let me just say that. And they just had another heartbreaking loss, as you could see. And I'm here to talk about the Giants and their horrible offense and stuff to be excited about because as bad as it has been over the last, what is it, 2 months, there is still a lot to be excited about. And as you can see, the Giants over the course of the season are one of the top 10 worst teams in weighted runs created plus, which of course means runs per plate appearance. They're at 93, which is below average, and it's not great, of course. Then, when we look at their overall offensive production here, as this is batting and base running combined, we're once again below average. And even though in WER, we are not bad at all. And overall on the season, it's not been as horrible, right? Then you look at the WOBA, we're at 23, which is not great. When we look at the slugging, we're at 25th. When you look at the on-base percentage, we're at 22nd. And when we look at the, what is it? What is it? Goddamn, the average, we're at 24, which is, of course, not great, right? But when we get here at the start of July and of course, throughout August, as you could see, when we get the worst team and I'm sorry, Fangraphs, I'm not gonna do that. Weighted runs created plus, it's the Giants. And when you look at the WOBA, it's the Giants. When you look at the slugging percentage, it's the Giants. When you look at the on-base percentage, you guessed it, it's the Giants. Do I have to keep going? I guess I do. This is how bad it's been. And the offense has just been horrific, absolutely horrific. At at least in walk percentage, they've been pretty much league average. In strikeout percentage, they've been here. So, however you want to take it. In ISO, they've been the worst in isolated power. So, that's also bad. In BABIP, they've been the worst. So, do I have to keep going? I guess not, right? It's pretty self-explanatory. They've been just really bad. And when you look at their schedule, as you could see, when we look at the schedule, before July, it was looking pretty good. Some rough losses here and there. And overall, it was fairly great, right? This Dodgers game was spectacular. Matos coming in, playing great, winning the first three against the Padres and losing one of them, winning close against the D-backs. It was a little sloppy. There was some clutch hitting overall, but still, nonetheless, it looked pretty great, right? Wasn't bad at all. Then when we were heading into the All-Star break, the Mets series was really rough one as we lost one series lost, and we lost the series against the Mariners. Won the series against the Rockies, even though it was once again really ugly baseball heading into the All-Star break, but it was fairly decent considering how bad it could have been even worse. And then we swept the Pirates, won first two against the Reds on the same day. And this day was my birthday, and since then it's been even worse. They got swept by the Nationals, who have been low-key pretty good. They have not been as bad as anticipated, and they've played some really good baseball. The Tigers, yeah, that was a rough one, as that was a makeup of like you see here. Then we swept the A's, which was much needed. Then we won a series against the Red Sox, who were playing really well, even though, yeah, it was still really bad offensively. The D-backs, we won that series. And then it went downhill since the Ace game. We have been, how bad we have been actually. We have won 1, 2, 3, 4 games out of 1, 5, 7, 10, 11, 12, 13, 16. 4 and 12 in the last 16 games. So nothing like it, as you can see here. Nonetheless, when we look at the pitching, at least, pitching data, since July we have not been as great as we have been on the whole season, but still really good overall. And when we look at the whole season, which is let me just get it here. Um, Throughout the whole season, I think it's even better. It's actually stays pretty much the same. But we have been one of the best pitching teams overall. Fourth in FIP, which means fielder independent pitching on an ERA scale. So that's fairly good. Even on the expected FIP, we have been the best. The win above replacement, we have been middle of the road, which, yeah, makes sense, unfortunately. But what can you do, right? Nonetheless, despite all these struggles and this rough schedule, when we head back to the schedule, looking ahead, it's not looking great, right? Phillies, they need to win tonight. They play in like 35 minutes. Then they play the Braves 3 times, which is not ideal again, even though they were close to winning the series against the Braves. If not for Tyler Rogers giving up a home run, which doesn't happen often. So, like, there are a lot of solid things nonetheless, despite some rough things. We could be the Angels, right? Uh, we could be the Angels, and we have a lot of, like I said, bright prospects. And then we play against the Reds, and then it becomes a bloodbath in the division. Padres, the Cubs, the Rockies, and the Guardians. That's the easiest part of the schedule here, with more Rockies coming in, and then we end on the division bloodbath. D-backs, Dodgers, Padres, Dodgers, and that's it. So we'll see if the Giants can make the playoffs. They are right now, of course, hovering around that wildcard spot when they are half game back right now, I suppose, with the Diamondbacks playing much better. So that is that. But when we look at the prospects, Kyle Harrison debuted today. He was looking really good. The strikeouts are what catches the eye. He has been a strikeout machine, and he had 5 strikeouts tonight. Gave up a home run to Bryce Harper, which, I mean, hey, not mad at it. And he pitched fairly well, as you can see here. Who was it? Ben Caspick, the legend himself, from Locked On Giants. If you want more Giants content, check him out. I'm sure he already talked about all of this. So, yeah, he was really good. He was really good. Struck out 31.3 of hitters, walked just 6.3. 66.2 strikes. Really good. Really good stuff from Kyle Harrison. And this Sean Jordan, shout out to him. He's another really great guy to follow. They haven't hit a 3-run home run in over a month, which says something. But nonetheless, let's look at the prospects, which is what keeps you really hopeful and excited. Kyle Harrison, already here, will probably pitch again next week, I suppose. We'll see. We'll see how they handle him. They want to, of course, bring him up a little slower. He pitched like, how many pitches did he throw? Like 64 to 66. And of course, they don't want the same thing that happened to Tim Lincecum, to Madison Bumgarner, happened to him. So they are bringing him along slowly, and it's great. I would say it's the right choice. He's going to be on the starting roster next year for sure. Then we have Marco Luciano, who's probably going to be there also. I hope so. I really liked his at bats. He showcased some really good potential in his games. When he got promoted for how many games was it actually? 11 at bats, so like 3 to 4 games. 4 games, right? Yeah, here. I'm blind. But he's injured once again now. Where is it? Option Luciano. No. It's not actually even here. But he's injured, I think, once again, and he's going to be re-evaluated soonish. So they brought in Paul DeJong. Hopefully he plays better than he did in Toronto. But it's a solid pickup nonetheless. Carson Wissenhunt is really impressive. Another lefty. 2 lefties. Could be a really good one. As you could see, the changeup is the main deal. And he's been pitching really well in Double-A. He's 3.2 ERA, struck out 27, just 11 walks. So I'm excited about that. Once again, exciting pitching prospects. I'm really excited about Bryce Eldridge. He did not pitch yet, but he's been hitting really well in rookie ball. He had like 5 homers, so the power was really showing, which when you look at the bio, his power is rated 60, which is very true. His power has been showing so far, and they did not have him pitch yet, so we'll see if he'll pitch or how they want to bring him up to pitching, because they want him to be a two-way player. So we'll see. And of course, we have another two-way player here in Reggie Crawford, who I'm also excited about. He's been playing fairly decent, hitting solid in A ball, now in A plus in Eugene. He has had one at bat so far, and he's been looking fairly solid. I'm pretty sure Volker Martin is another pick from this year. No stats available yet. I have not read about him. Then, of course, Grant McRae is a guy I'm solidly excited about. He is really fast, hitting fairly okay. We'll see how he pans out. Mason Black, another pitcher who could see a promotion this year, maybe next year. He has been okay um, in AAA, 40 Ks to 17 breaking balls. So we'll see. Wade Meckler, of course, has been promoted. Hayden Birdsong has been pitching okay, but the promotion to AA has been a little rougher on him. So we'll see how he figures that out. Now I just did this. My bad. Nonetheless, there are some really exciting prospects. Wade Meckler is here still, who has been called up. He had some rough outfield stuff, and he has not figured out the fastball yet. He had 14 strikeouts already. When you look at his stats overall, he's been fairly a walk machine, considering his walks to strike ratio has been really great, and in AAA ball he was absolutely mashing in 25 at bats. He was struck out just 5 times and walked 8 times. So hopefully that travels. Nonetheless, he's 23. He got promoted really quickly. So as you could see, he was expected for 2025, and he's already playing with the team now. So hopefully he can figure it out. I'm still like Von Brown, but he's not been like spectacular. I'm really excited about where is he. I'm still a huge believer in Heliot Ramos. I'm really excited about Randy Rodriguez. If he can keep it going, even though he's had some rough starts, he still has some potential to me, and especially to the bullpen. And Heliot Ramos, he looks better this year. When he had a stint with the main team, he played 17 games, OPS of 663, not bad at all. Showcased some power, hit the home run, first home run of his career. Hopefully he gets more chances in that outfield, but we'll see. He's been hitting incredibly well this year. Nonetheless, we'll see in AAA, that is. And when you look at the page Savant, Ryan Walker, hopefully it will load ASAP. I'm sorry, I should have had this prepared much better. But Ryan Walker, another guy who has been sensational, came up this year, 31st round pick in 2018 draft. I mean, look at the goddamn percentiles. He's been spectacular. His slider is absolutely absurd.
Just a bit outside. The only thing you worry about that is the guy.
He has a great ERA of 2.15, 53 strikeouts in 46 innings. And it's, a really good pitch mix, right? Sinker here, slider on the other side. He's been sensational. He's been absolutely sensational. And then when we look at like Wade Meckler here, when we look at Patrick Bailey, of course, who has been probably the most exciting young prospect, as he is probably the catcher of the future with framing in the literally best percentile, right? Pop time in the 97 percentile. He's a great defensive catcher. The hitting has been, better than expected, I would say still. He was hitting like incredibly well, and he had the cold streak as pretty much the whole team did, besides Wilmer Flores throughout the stretch. And he's still fairly great, 711 OPS, right? He needs to work on the K rate, and hopefully he can get more walks, but we'll see about that, of course. But everything you see about Patrick Bailey is impressive, so I really trust him, and I'm excited about that. And then I'm still excited about Luis Matos, who is probably my favorite prospect overall. He's showcased some incredible plate discipline at the age of 21. He's hit fairly well, and he rarely strikes out, I'm pretty sure. He has 21 strikeouts to 14 walks. He's been pitching. He's been hitting really well, and showcasing play discipline, some tough bobby block, while also not having the power yet, as he hit 2 home runs. He hit one against the Braves. That was 2 days ago, which was great, but he just how do you say, doesn't have the power yet, which hopefully with the age of 21, 160 lips, 160, it will grow and look much better throughout these next couple of years. But I think he could be the outfielder for the future. Then of course when Shohei comes in, it's going to be even better. We also still have Casey Schmidt, who is not on the prospect rankings none now, and he, even though he has been rough, he still has the arm strength, and he's hit the ball fairly hard. Hopefully, he can figure it out. He started off so great. He has the defensive potential, even though it's been a little up and down and not as great as expected, probably. Uh, he chases like a goddamn madman. He doesn't walk, as you can see. Percentile is pretty much, I don't know, might be the lowest in the league, honestly, right? And where is it actually? Where are the stats? Standard. Yeah, there it is. He struck out 56 times to 11 walks. So there's that. But I still have some hope for Casey Schmidt. And that will probably do it. Yeah, that will probably do it. I just wanted to kinda ramble about them. Hopefully they can win tonight, as they, like I said, they play in half an hour here. So I'll have this video out right before that, I suppose. Then the Braves should be fun. The Reds, once again, should be fun. There is a lot of fun baseball games. Hopefully the offense will finally do something, but I'm not sure, man. I think it might be a lost cause. But as long as the young guys play and they show some development, does it matter really, right? The next few years should be more exciting nonetheless. They'll be in for Otani, very likely. And you'll have all these young guys hopefully progressing and getting better and better. And if Kyle Harrison, Luis Matos, Patrick Bailey, and maybe a Wade McIlroy, maybe a Heliot Ramos, maybe of course, Carson Wissenham, Mason Black, maybe one of these other guys can get in and bring some more great stuff. Keaton Venus also, that I have not showcased. That is a lot of things to be excited about. And yeah, I will end it about that. Be kind to yourself, and see you all.